Hello guys, welcome. And today I'm gonna talk about production consistency and production reliability, and in a container-like environment, production that runs the workload in container. And I will share a real-life situation where we might have production inconsistency, but doing because the solution that we are working guaranteed that. But I will share with you some information that may help you in case that the solution you are not using that doesn't guarantee that, and how that may not be guaranteed, and what might be the actual issue in production related to inconsistency and reliability. So let's keep up.
Well, okay, guys. As I said that we will want to talk about the container environment or container production workload, right? And before we jump to that, I'm gonna draw a simple draw here, which may represent how the basic idea of how the container basic functionality, right? And so we have here the container backend, the container engine, and the container basically is the container engine and the container register, right? So sorry, container engine, and duplicate that in the container register. Let's call it engine and registry. You will understand why I'm trying to draw this registry, and here we have the client. What the client actually does is just to consume API here. Just consume the API here. Okay, when he wants to pull or push the image, he use the API and send the image to register. Right? He wants to run and start container and so on. He use the API, interact with engine to all the work he can do. So what is the basic way we can use to reference the container? Most of the time we reference container through the tag, right? Through the tag, which represents, for example, which may represent a specific version of the container. This is the basic way which we represent the tags. But the problem is with the tag is the tag is mutable, right? It's mutable. By mutable, we are saying that the tag can change over time, right? The tag can change over time. That's why it's mutable. By changes, we can, for example, build a specific version of the binary that will run in the container, but do a pull to the container registry. And after that, we can, for example, we forgot to change the tag, and we continue to how can I say, send commits or send changes to the tags. And the tag is for the tag it's fine. Like, as I say, he's immutable. We can have different version of the binary associated with the container, right? And what that may create, let's suppose we have deployed production with a specific tag, and we continue to do some development under that tag, right? And let's say that we have let's say Kubernetes, for example, Kubernetes or ECS points. Okay, running one instance. Okay, instance with tag 1, instance with tag 1, and that tag 1, and somehow we experience some pressure on the system, and we want to how can I say, increase or scaling up the instance. What Kubernetes will do is to create another replica or another pod, wherever, whatever we can call it, right? But remember, here we have deployed before, as the tag is mutable and can have multiple versions of, or can have different versions, because that capability of mutability, right? What will happen is when the Kubernetes try to scale up due to some pressure on the system, what we will do, if he is using tag, we'll try to fetch from the register, it can be private, it can be public, with the reference of the tag. But the binary that's related to the tag now is not the same. So what might end up happening here is we might have two instances running through different binary version, right? And as we know, and we have here probably if we are talking about Kubernetes, like service, which we will do a run and robin algorithm to pick which container to use, and you can see that we will have inconsistency. You call this instance here, return some results, may return some result, and we can call and another call. We end up in this instance here, and we may have another version and another response. Like that, why is not a good approach to use tag as the main source or the main way to fetch image in production, right? Because that immutability property of the tag itself, right? So how can we? So we have that situation, and how can we solve? There is a concept here. There is a concept in container which is called it digest. Different from the tag, digest is mutable. It's unmutable, meaning every time a change occurs in a image, a new digest is created, right? So every time you push a image to registry, a new digest is generated, and that happens if it's not about only pushes. If the push creates some change in the image, a new digest is created, right? So, and digest is immutable. You cannot have many images with the same digest output or digest message. Giving a briefing of what digest is. Digesting is basically a cryptography concept that guarantee integrity, which is one of the property of the security, which guarantee integrity. And digest is implemented most of the time use the SHA, the SHA algorithm, right? The SHA algorithm, which is a hash algorithm. The SHA can be SHA 2065, right? We can use the SHA algorithm to create a digest, right? As I said, we use digest to verify the integrity. So we pick the input, we hash it, and we generate an output, and we can validate the integrity using the digest message. So as I said, digest is not mutable, so there is no way we can have a digest or a image with two versions of an image, for example, with the same digest. So every time we push and we have a change in the image, we will generate another digest related to that image. Basically, digest is the hash of most of the time the hash of the manifest of the image, concretely. Okay, so now instead of us relying only in the tag, we rely on the tag and digest. Right? So what will happen is, as I said before, try to recap here, is that instead of relying just on tag, which tag is the mutable, let's apply digest tag, which is immutable. So every time we push to every time we push to the container register associated with the tag, it will digest what that tag created. Right? So let's assume a situation where we deploy to production, right, and we continue to do some pushes to the tag, and we didn't ship that pushes to the production. What will end up is that the digest that is on the production now will not exist anymore in the container register. So what will happen is, when we try to scale up, right, what we will do, the orchestration of the system that's running the container will try to contact the register here with the hash of the digest message. And what will may end up happening is the image with that digest will not be found here, so which will cause a situation where we are not able to scale up. So we will try to scale, we will call the register, we won't have any image that digest, so we will not be able to scale up. That's a problem also, but it's after that explanation is for sure that we must first, if we want to maintain production consistency, we must use digest, because consistency we only have when the container is run the same container image, right? All the instances run the same image. That is the only way we can have the consistent production. So the digest is the way to go, instead of just relying on the tag. So, but if you continue to push to a tag and without shipping to the production, the digest will change. In a situation where we want to scale up the back end or the container orchestration that is being used, we'll try to reach the register. The register will say, man, we don't have any more of that register. We are not able to, so we will not be able to. We will not be able to scale up the service to cope with the user demand there. So two things here. First, we should rely for sure, if we want to maintain consistency on the digest, and we should make sure to not continue to send pushes, image pushes to the same tag, because that will create a problem, because the digest will be changing during that process of pushing that we are trying to do there on the image, right? But there is something here also that I want to make sure that we should try to guarantee is make sure that the client validate, because not all the client validates that they digest when you fetch. Like some client just pick the tags if the tags exist, and it can scale. In the situation of scale, it can scale. So make sure that the client that you're using is using digest as the primary way to push image to send to the production, to maintain the production consistency. More than the client to validate or check the instance, you must make sure that the register version that you are using is the V2, because the digest was introduced in the container register V2, right? Yes. So basically, that's. I hope you get something from the video. So during the wrap up here is like, don't rely on the tags, because tags are mutable. Relies on digest to maintain production consistency. To guarantee that, first make sure the client that you are using validate the digest, and make sure the register version that you are using, because you can use a private to save image, is using the V2 version of the register. So Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get something from that video. Anything that you find useful, you can put that in comments. Feel free to share your thoughts on that. Thank you. Bye. See you next time.